Howdy everyone, Warsarsy here, and this is Call of Duty Black Ops 2 on the Wii U in 2023. Before we begin, I'd like to go over a brief bit of history on this version of Black Ops 2. For starters, it never got any DLC. It still has only the base multiplayer maps, no Peacekeeper, no camo or other personalization packs, and only green run for zombies. At one point during the life cycle of the game, the leaderboards for Die Rise did show up in preparation for the DLC, but then Activision changed their mind and decided they weren't going to support this version, with the leaderboard disappearing immediately after. The support was so bad that the Wii U didn't even get Nuketown 2025 until nearly 2 years after the game launched. It would have been nice to have gotten at least one DLC pack, because while I don't mind the base game content, besides Transit, which while I don't hate the map, it's still my least favorite map in the game, I'm sure there'd be at least a few more people still playing if there was more to do. And I might as well quickly mention that this is the worst running version of Black Ops 2. It's not abysmal or anything, far from it. It still sticks around 60 FPS, but it doesn't manage to keep it, often dropping into the 50s, and it's definitely noticeable. So all around, I feel bad for anyone whose main experience with Black Ops 2 was the Wii U version. If this were the version I'd been stuck with, I probably would have been pissed. So here's the big question: how many people are still playing this in 2023? Well, let's find out. I did this little experiment between 2:30 and 4 p.m. on a Wednesday, and based on the results, I'm gonna say that you'll definitely want to try during the daytime if you're going to play this. During the day, you can semi-easily find a full multiplayer lobby for Team Deathmatch. When I checked, there were a whole 24 people in the world playing the multiplayer. There isn't really much to say about this. There's people of all sorts still playing. People that are max prestige, people who are still noobs, and people that are in between. Almost none of them even had custom emblems either, and now they never will, since you can no longer save emblems across any version of the game. Thankfully, I still have my poorly made Sonic emblem on this version, but as for the 360 and PS3 version, all I'll say is yikes. But anyway, back to the Wii U. The few matches that I played felt a lot slower than usual, like practically to where the match timer had to expire before one team came out as victorious. There were a fair amount of campers too, but honestly, what Call of Duty isn't like that? But anyway, this is, like I said, all during the day. During the night, this game is basically dead, especially much later into the night, where you'll be lucky if there are even 2 other people searching for a game of Team Deathmatch. You can find a few zombies matches here and there as well. I found up to 17 players online when I tried, though getting actual satisfactory results is a bit more iffy here. I usually only get a lobby with one other person, and none of them seem to actually want to play past the first few rounds before just quitting. This happened 5 times in a row, and what little time they did play, they were some of the dumbest people I've ever played with. It was very annoying, so I eventually just gave up. It sucks because none of my past attempts have ever been this bad. The worst I usually come across is someone who isn't very good at the game, and even then they usually always stick around and can semi-manage to hold themselves together. This time, however, what few minutes I was in with these people, they'd always go down within the first 3 rounds, spend points on the door in the bus station while taking a turbine part with them, and just wouldn't stick around long enough for an actual match. So, you can try to tolerate the lobbies of this version if you want, or hope for an actual match, but you're gonna need the patience of a god to do so. And again, this is during the day. As for night, this mode is even more dead than multiplayer, and even though you only need one person to play with compared to multiplayers of multiple people, it's hard to find even that. I mean, it's doable, as I've had it happen before in the past, but again, it comes back to having a lot of patience. So in the end, the multiplayer is definitely the most populated of the two modes here, which is a shame because I've always preferred to play zombies when it comes to Black Ops 2. Even on the Wii U, a few years back, you could find so many more people still playing zombies, and even the multiplayer would have at least 4 or 5 times as many people playing. Unfortunately, nowadays, across both modes, it's unlikely you'll ever see triple-digit numbers for active players again. At least on the bright side, I've never come across any hackers. I think there may only be one hack out there, but from my understanding, you still need a PC to do it, and the person behind it makes you pay a subscription to use it, which no one is going to do, especially not for the worst version of the game that you often have difficulties even finding playable lobbies in. So can you still play Black Ops 2 online on the Wii U in 2023? Absolutely. And even without DLC and slightly inferior performance, it's still very playable and enjoyable. Unfortunately, you're going to have to get lucky when it comes to finding lobbies, making this not an ideal way to play it. Still, if you've got a Wii U and have a copy of the game, or find a download online, it's still an interesting experience worth trying out if you have the time. And that's going to be it for this video. Maybe I'll do Call of Duty Ghosts on the Wii U next, though that game is a bit harder to find lobbies in, so we'll see. Till then, this is War Sarcy in the Game Clips channel, and I'm out.